O Lord, protect us from the fury of the Northmen. That is what the Saxon monks said about the raid of 793. We talk about the Vikings, this, that and the other, but let's go back a bit and say, well, why would they invade England? What's in it for them? Quite a lot. In that when you go to Denmark, even today, it remains permanently dark for part of the year and permanently light for the rest of the year. And England seemed a very green, pleasant land and also fabulously wealthy. Is that an excuse to raid? Well, yes. What happened was, imagine you have a family of Vikings, you have the eldest son. When the father died, the eldest son got everything, and the rest, well, they didn't get anything. So if you wanted wealth, you had to go and get it. Also, there's very little fertile land in Scandinavia. You get a bit around the fjord, and that's about it really. The rest, forest and things like that. So England seems a very attractive place. Now, those days a slave was a valuable commodity. You could buy and sell them and make quite good money at it. What better place than a building with lots of wealth and lots of people who, the strongest thing they would say is, Deus save me, God save me. Make excellent slaves. The nuns, concubines, they're worth a lot more. So, 793, the Vikings came to the Isle of Lindisfarne, and there they created history. And I say history, there's a reputation that even today people have instant connection with. As we know, the Vikings eventually overwintered in this country and eventually settled in what we today call York or Yorkwick, and they tried to take the whole of the island. King Alfred, as we know, resisted, and eventually a compromise was reached, the border with Wessex and Danelaw, with the river going from sort of Liverpool all the way through, down through Kent into the Channel, which was Danelaw. We know that they had the 5 boroughs. The 5 boroughs, in fact, were Derby, Nottingham, Leicester, Lincoln and Stamford. These were strong points, rallying points, but they're a bit more, we think. On examination, they had different roles. Derby, for instance, where we are now, that was quite a prosperous place. It had its own mint, the site of which is Armen Alley, down the side of the cathedral. The street names, they give away the place. Irongate, for instance, Irongata. Saddlergate or Saddlergata, Street of the Saddle Makers, and various other street names tell you the trades that were there. We know that in 917 Queen Athelflaed came to Derby and took it, much to the surprise and dismay of the Vikings, who weren't used to having a female warrior attack them, and it threw them into some kind of confusion. Nottingham surrendered without a fight. It had been besieged by Athelflaed, and she was an amazing woman. But the Vikings themselves, the one reason they survived is they adapted. When they came here, they were pagan, believing in Odin, Thor, Freya, Frigg, Balder, the rest. They would have married the Saxon women who were Christian, and then they had children where they would learn probably a bit of the Norse, but mostly they would be learning about Christianity. And by the time those children had children, they knew that Grandad had some weird ideas and carried on that way. You can sum it up as adapt or die, which is what the Vikings did. They adapted. Great travellers, as we know. But what did the Vikings ever do for us? Well, they gave us the concept of law and trial by our equals. something that is still today. 12 good men and true. Go to the Isle of Man, they have the old things still. And our language has been changed by them. You know, I mean, there's so many things, and by and large, I think we can say thank you to them for what they've done. You always read about the bad side of them, because the histories are written by those who they attacked. They weren't a great literary society for quite a time. Well, that's a brief talk about the Vikings, and till we meet again, stay safe.